Hi there, guys. So, today we're going to talk about poetry and the different types of poetry that we find. Um, so, let's get started. Poetry is a type of literature or artistic writing that attempts to stir a reader's imaginations or emotions. The poet does this by carefully choosing and arranging language for its meaning, sound, and rhythm. Some poems, such as nursery rhymes, are simple and humorous. Other poems may try to express some truth about life, to tell a story, or to honor a person or a god. Poetry appears in a great many forms and styles. This makes it difficult to define exactly. One thing that makes poems different from the types of writing is their structure. So when we think about poetry compared to narrative stories or article writings, each type of writing has a certain structure. When we think about article writing, we have a headline, a baseline, and all of the who, what, where, when, and why that goes into that. When we think about our narrative writing, we have a beginning, middle, and end that incorporates our story arc. And poems have the same kind of structure to them. Now, poems come in many different varieties, which we're going to explore today. So the first poem we're going to look at is called a haiku, a traditional Japanese form of poetry that is written in 3 lines. Each line needs a specific number of syllables. So syllables are the sounds in a word. So hat is 1 syllable, right? 1 clap, hat. Whereas happy is 2 syllables. We have happy. So in a haiku, the first line has to have 5 syllables, the second line has to have 7, and the third line has to have 5. So let's take a look at some examples. Walking through the woods, listening to birds chirping, nature at its best. So this haiku is about nature, and it's written with 5 syllables, 7 syllables, then 5 again. Let's try and see if we can figure that out. Walking through the woods, that's 5. Listening to birds chirping, that's 7. Nature at its best, that's 5. So we have 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and then 5 again. Let's look at this other example. The earth is alive. If we don't take care of it, it will not survive. So 5, 7, and 5. And our entire poem is about how important it is to be recycling, or how important it is to make sure that we treat the earth with respect. Another form of poetry that you probably come across is called an acrostic poem. And it is to write an acrostic poem, write 1 word vertically. Next, write a series of words or phrases that describe the topic and how you feel about it. So, for example, we have the topic, earth. And you can see the word earth is in bold letters. Then we start each line using the letter that is given. So earth. Earth is my home, a planet covered in water and land. Recycle and reuse everything. Try to keep our planet clean. Help make a difference. So all of these lines have something in common. They're all about how to protect the earth. Okay? Our next one is a sequin. And it is a 5-line poem that follows the specific pattern. The first line is 1 word topic. The second line is 2 adjectives describing the topic. The third line is 3 verbs describing the topic. And the fourth line is a phrase or sentence about the topic. And the fifth line is a 1-word synonym for the topic. So remember, your adjectives are describing words. Your verbs are acting words, right? Like jumping, singing. The phrase or sentence can be whatever you want. And then, of course, we know what a synonym is. It's another word that is used to describe the same thing. So let's take a look at an example. Spring, colorful, beautiful. Blossoming, growing, blooming. Nature is coming to life. May. So spring is the main idea. Colorful and beautiful are ways of describing spring. Blossoming, growing, and blooming are three verbs that we kind of see things that happen during springtime, right? Flowers blossom, trees grow, all that kind of stuff. Then we have our sentence, nature is coming to life. And our synonym for spring is May, because May is the first month of spring. Let's take a look at another one. Gardener, grows plants. Planting, growing, watering. Quietly working in sunshine, a planter. So again, we have the word, verbs, words, the adjectives, the describing words, the verbs, a sentence, and then the synonym. Another one is a shape poem. A shape poem is a poem that is shaped like the thing it describes. The shape adds to the meaning of the poem. So in our poem here, we already know that the poem's probably going to be about a big blue whale, that's what it is also titled as. And then as you read the poem, you follow the shape of the poem. And these are really, really fun to make, right? And there's no rules to this. You can really write whatever you want as long as it's describing the main idea of your poem, which this one is about a whale. And lastly, we have a limerick. And this one's a little bit more complicated. A limerick is a commercial poem consisting of 5 lines. And by commercial, obviously, I mean comical. Line 1, 2, and 5 rhyme, and the lines 3 and 4 rhyme. So let's take a look. There once was a young girl named Rose, who dreamed of great wealth and fine clothes. So exceedingly vain, this very plain Jane, what to others she would snub her nose. So line 1, 2, and 5 all rhyme. Line 3 and 4 rhyme. Our rhyming words are rose, clothes, and nose. And here we have vain and Jane. Okay? So those are the 5 types of poems that we are going to look at. And we're going to start practicing our own versions of poetry. Okay? Head to your assignment and have a great day.